The age-old question of what's the best credit card setup? It's a question that can be answered, but not in the way you think. Let's get into it. In today's video, we'll take a look at the traveler persona and figure out what's the best credit card strategy for them. The way we are going to do this video is we're going to look at 5 attributes and choose the right credit card for each of those attributes. If you're new here, my name is Abhi. This is Credit Debit with Abhi, and like we do in all of our videos, without further ado, let's dive in. We'll take a look at 5 total attributes. Let's start with the first one. It is the flight and airport experience, and here I'm going to focus on the entirety of the experience, not just lounge access. And if you think about the holistic experience at an airport or on the flight, you're thinking about the security process, you're thinking about biometric identification, and you're also thinking about lounge access. And if you're thinking about these 3 things within your flight and airport experience, the card I would choose is the American Express Platinum card. And here's the reason why. If you're a frequent flyer, the American Express Platinum card gives you access to Clear Plus membership. And the Clear Plus membership helps speed up the biometric identification process once you get to the airport. Secondly, you also get credited back for global entry, which includes TSA PreCheck. And that helps you to speed up your security process at the airport. And the last factor regarding lounge access, well, there are very few cards out there that does what the American Express Platinum does. You get access to priority pass lounges, and you also get access to Delta Sky Club when you're flying with Delta Airlines. And to top all of that, if you book your flights using the American Express Platinum card, you get 5x back for every dollar that you spend with the airline directly. Which brings us to the second important attribute, which is cab rides. Broadly speaking, you have 2 options here, Lyft and Uber. And when you're a frequent traveler, you're optimizing for price, the quality of the cars that you get, and the amount of time you have to wait before a car arrives. For all of those reasons, I'm going to pick Lyft as the company that we're going to be focusing on. And here's the reason why. In my experience, Lyft tends to be cheaper when going to and from the airport. The card I'm going to talk about in a second that wins this particular attribute also gives you access to the highest tier of Lyft membership, which is Lyft Pink Access. So your cars arrive quicker. And I've found the average quality of cars and the drivers to be better with Lyft than with Uber. My choice here is the Chase Sapphire Reserve for 2 particular reasons. Number 1 is you've started getting a $10 credit that you can use every single month. Similar to the credit that you get with the American Express Platinum card with Uber, this is a use it or lose it. So if you don't use the $10 credit every single month, you lose it. Number 2 is that you get Lyft Pink Access membership if you've registered for it before December of 31st, 2024. And this particular access gives you priority pickup. And not to mention, you get 5x back every time you book a Lyft ride using your Chase Sapphire Reserve. Which then brings us to the third attribute and probably the hotly contested one, hotels. Plenty of choices here between Marriott, IHG, Hilton, Hyatt, Radisson, to just name a few. And the factors affecting this particular attribute are chances of an upgrade, or if the status provides you with free breakfast, other amenities with the hotel, and also the kind of points you earn with the hotel. Given the footprint of the 3 of the hotel chains in this list, which is Marriott, Hilton, and Hyatt, I think the competition comes down to these 3. Based on some of my recent videos, you're probably thinking I'm choosing the Hyatt hotel brand. Well, that's incorrect. And that's because we are optimizing for status with these hotels using a credit card strategy. And if you look across all the credit card Hyatt has with Chase, you're only going to get Discover status, which is not going to be much. So our comparison boils down to Hilton and Marriott. What would you choose between the 2? Well, if you chose Marriott, you and I are not aligned because I choose Hilton. And that's because with one of the credit cards with Hilton, you can get access to Diamond status that opens up a slew of benefits for you. With Hilton Diamond status, you get access to upgrades all the way up to suites, and you can also get free breakfast for 2 people. And the card I'm selecting here is the American Express Hilton Honors Aspire card. In addition to the Diamond status that you get with the card, you also get $400 in Hilton Resort credit broken down into $200 every 6 months. Plus a free award night with the credit card that's fairly easy to use and can be used at almost every single property. And unlike Marriott, you don't need to top this up. Now, one can make the argument that the American Express Bonvoy Brilliant card also gives you access to Platinum membership with Marriott. And that gives you access to upgrades all the way up to suites and gives you access to free breakfast across a bunch of Marriott properties. Then why is it that I selected Hilton over Marriott? There are 2 reasons for that. One is multipliers. The Hilton card has superior multipliers compared to the Marriott card. Here are a few examples. You can get 34x back with the Hilton Aspire card for every dollar you spend at Hilton properties. Whereas with Marriott, for every dollar you spend, you get 21x back. And since every single point is relatively equal across Marriott and Hilton at about 0.6 to 0.8, your capability to earn a lot more points is just higher with Hilton with this credit card. Even if you looked at restaurants, you earn 7x back on Hilton, 3x back on Marriott. For everything else, you earn 3x back on Hilton, 2x back on Marriott. The other reason I chose Hilton over Marriott in this credit card strategy is because Hilton just has a better credit card. Like I mentioned, you have the $400 Hilton Resort credit. You have a free night of what certificate that you can use at pretty much every single property, as long as there is standard night availability. Plus you get a $200 flight credit with the Hilton card. So in terms of overall value, the Hilton card just comes out ahead of the Marriott one. That brings us to the fourth parameter, which is transaction fees, or the lack thereof. When you're traveling abroad, you want a credit card in your wallet that does not charge you transaction fees. And if you're someone who spends a fair bit on your vacations, this is extremely important because these small percentages start to add up. There are plenty of credit cards out there that don't charge you a transaction fee when you're traveling abroad. But my choice here is the Citi Startup Premier card. One, it is a MasterCard, so it can be used at multiple locations outside of the US, whether you're traveling in Europe, Asia, or anywhere else. Number two is it gives you 3x back on a bunch of relevant categories like restaurants and hotels, which you will be using when you're traveling abroad. And the last attribute that we're going to talk about is travel protection. Here you're looking for cancellation protection, insurance when you're traveling, car rental collision damage waiver protection, and there is one card that stands above everyone else, and that's the Chase Sapphire Preferred in my opinion. Chase in general has some of the best travel protection out there in the industry, but I chose the Chase Sapphire Preferred specifically over the Chase Sapphire Reserve because it's a $95 annual fee versus the $550 annual fee, and pretty much gives you similar protection across the board. Let me know which card you would have chosen across these categories and where you disagree with me. And the way to think about these attributes and the credit cards I've chosen for each of these categories is that you don't need all of them, but depending on your traveler persona and which attributes matter to you the most, you may consider having these credit cards. And if you are considering these credit cards, check out my referral link below. They help out the channel. And like always, I'll see you in the next one.